Welcome back. We are going to be working on pages 7 and 8 today. And then all we have left is the two inside covers and the outside. And then, it'll be over. I always get sad at the end. All right, so let's see. We are going to start with page 7. I'll turn this as if I'm turning the book and page 8 over here. Okay, and I'm going to set this aside. You're going to need to make 5 cuts for this, page 7. A is going to be 8.5 by 7 3/4. B is going to be 7 3/4 by 5 1/4. C, this is a little flap, 4.5 by 3 1/4. D is 8 1/4 by 9 3/4. And E is a pocket, 8 3/4 by 4. So, hope you got those written down. Hit pause, cut those, and come back, and we're going to score them. Okie doke. So for A, we're going to score 1/2 inch on the 8.5 inch side. So I believe that would be this side. Yes, 8.5 side is facing up. B, we're going to be put the 5 1/4 side is going to be facing up. C, the 3 1/4 side, the small side, facing up. Now that can't be right. Hold on. The 4.5 inch side is facing up. Okay. D, the 8 1/4 side is facing up. I believe that's up here. Yep. Moved on me a little bit. Okay. And E is our pocket. So we want the long side is going to be where we have our pocket, so that doesn't get any score lines. We're going to go 2 on the small sides and 1 across the bottom. So we'll start with the small side. So remember, your long side is facing up. Turn it to the right. Turn it to the right again. Okay. So let's start with the pocket. Put our tape down using 3/8 inch. If you have 1/4 inch, that's fine too. But probably the most common size I use is 3/8 inch. Okay, burnish this down. And then we'll cut, miter our corners. fold these over. Okay, D. We'll put our tape on the linen side. C. I went over the edge a little bit, so I'll just cut that off. B. And A. Burnish all this. Fold these over. Okay, so I'm going to bring out my pocket page 7, and first we will tape down A on the bottom. This has got a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch on each side, and I'm going to make it flush with the bottom. Oh, this is not flush. Hold on. There we go. Okay, and the top flap is B. I'll line this up left and right with that bottom so they come together. And I'll make it flush at the top. There we go. Okay, now I am going to corner around these. Okay. On the top here, I'm going to put C right on top of there. I'm just going to put it towards the left-hand side, not all the way to the left, just right around there. And I'm going to corner around this with a small rounded. You don't have to, but yeah. Okay, and the inside, we're going to have our pocket So I guess I will, first though, we're gonna put down our flap. That's gonna go, D is gonna go on the right hand side. Tape lifted here a little bit, so put that down. Okay. I'm gonna hold it like this. Now I want to try to fit it so it's not overhanging each of these fold lines, because you want the flaps to fold over this. So make sure it's not on top of that. And there should be like 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little less. There. Yeah, so that goes right on top. I'll burnish this down. Happy. All these flaps, we're gonna need some magnets. And now our pocket. And before I take the tape off, I just want to go make sure, yes, I have enough room. So first I'll take the bottom piece off so that way I can fold that down and it holds it. Okay. Here we go. Want a little room to each side, and we want a little bit of room on the bottom so that it's not on that fold, on that crease right here. Want like a little bit of a space. There, that looks nice. Okay, so let's start with flap D for our magnets. I am running low, gonna need to get some more. This is moving along quite nice. We're in the groove. I'll tape this down. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna get some more magnets. Always keep them handy. Next, we will do our bottom flap, and that's going to go on top of the side flap. I never go right too close to the edge here, because when you put the paper down, you don't want a little bubble. So it's probably about 1/4 of an inch at least. that goes right on top of this other side flap. Okay, and our top flap will put a magnet, and that'll go on top of our bottom flap. There we go, and I forgot about that little flap on the outside, so let's get that. And this is about journaling card size, so we'll put a journaling card up there just to give it something extra. And there we go. That is page 7. So now we are ready for page 8, which is going to be pretty simple. And I think we already did a page like this on page 2. So let's turn it over. So we're turning in our book. And page 8. So I'm going to leave this set aside up here for a second. Clean up my work area. And we're ready to start cutting for page 8. Page 8 just has 2 flaps and a pocket, so pretty easy. Get a new piece of paper. So, page 8, we're going to do 9 3/4. By 3 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to use 9 3/4 by 8 1/4. So we already did the 9 3/4 over here. But let's see if this is 8 3/4. I am not sure. It's 8 1/4. Yeah. Math. So, hey, wait a minute. That works. That works. 8 1/4. Let me just see. It's a little shy, but that will work. Okay, so we want that to be 9 3/4 by 8 1/4, and that is the other half of what we just cut. And then the pocket is 8 3/4 by 4. So I'm just going to check out my scraps here and see if I have something that's 4 inches wide. So I don't have to cut a hole. No, this looks like it could be. Yes. So that's going to be 8 3/4. Save that. By 4. We're going to make a pocket out of that. Okay, we just have our 3 flaps, and we will score those. This is going to be similar to the inside cover also. So we will take flap A, which is our skinny one, 3 3/4 by 9 3/4, and this one's going to have a gusset on it. So I am going to measure. I want to score it at 3 and at 3 1/4. So I'm going to put a little pencil mark So it'll be 3 and 3 1/4. And that'll give us our 1/2 inch over here to lay it down, and this little space right here so we can put things in our pocket. Okay, we've got a nice little gusset there. Get our big flap here. And we're just going 1/2 inch on the 8 1/4 side. Okay, and now our pocket. So this is gonna be our pocket on the inside. So we're gonna score on both of these short sides and one across the bottom. So we will start with our long side facing up, because we're not going to score across there. That's where we're going to put stuff. So we've got 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch across the bottom, and a 1/2 inch on the other side. Okay. Let's put our tape down. 3/8 I'm using. This is flat B. And flap A. Now flap A, we're putting the tape just across the bottom. We're not having any tape go into that little gusset space. Okay, now we're ready to burnish this. And here's our pocket. And let's cut. Miter the corners. So this one with a gusset. First we'll fold on the 1/2 inch line, and then carefully we'll go over. There we go. And so basically, if you can see that, you get a little gusset. It gives you a little extra room. Now we're ready to put everything down. Page 8 up in the corner here. So let's start with the big flap, and we're going to put that on the right hand side. There we go. So we have a little bit of space at the top and bottom, just a little bit. Use our thumbs to guide it to the edge here. Okay. There you go. And then another flap here with the gusset. We're going to put on the left-hand side. Okay. Now this one, you line it up top and bottom, and on the sides you want the flat gusset side to be flush with the edge. So I've got my thumbs here, trying to guide it along. When you're happy with that, see, that's right up against the edge. Okay, I am going to corner round these. And also, if you want to do your corner rounding before you tape it down, just in case you make a mistake, I'm just super used to this. Okay, and now we're going to put our pocket in the middle, and that will be that. We'll put some magnets down. All right, now this, I'm lining it up between this score line and this first score line, not the second one where the gusset is, the first one. Look left and right, and there should just be a little teeny space on each side, like a 1/16 of an inch. Got it flush with the bottom. Okay. And yes, I forgot to take the tape off the sides, no problem. Okay. That actually might not be a bad idea because it wasn't sticking and I could move it around. Happy accident. There. And now let's get our magnets down. So like that. So we just need a few. We'll put one over here. You'll see page 8 was easy peasy. Told you the first page was the hardest. There we go. So I'm going to have a brad somewhere over here, so that won't bother me. I will put it in the normal space. If you think you want your brad closer to the edge, just don't put this magnet in the middle. Make it either up or down a little smidge. But we're gonna have a brad there. And I've also done it where I have a magnet at the top and bottom also, because sometimes these long skinny flaps, but see how it lifts up here? But it's not bad, so I'll leave it like that. go. That's page 8. So I will show you now the decorations for 7 and 8. Okay, here's page 7. This page, I believe, came from this Serene Oasis. Yes. And it has some journaling, a page of journaling cards, so I picked whichever one. There's a choice of them. And I picked that one. Happiness is a beach day. This paper it's got like metallic waves, really pretty. And when I open it up, these shell papers come from our Beyond the Shores, I believe, yes. Comes from this pack. I love them, I love the shells. And I open it up. Here's paper from also Beyond the Shores, and I put some die cuts. These are from the 49 and Market. There's a page of die cuts, and you can pop out some shapes. So if you have a Cricut, you can do that too. This is from, let's see, it's one of the 49 and Market. I want to see which one it is. Yes, it is from Seaside. It's that one right here. And then these were leftover pieces from the same paper. Okay, and this is just a journaling card, so you can put a picture on the front and the back. And here's another one. Get your feet wet. So yeah. And again, you can put brochures or anything, tickets from ferry rides, whatever you want in there. Okay. And then the pullout, I try to match whatever papers I used on this side. So I put the seashells there. Okay. Page 8. Page 8 is used. Where did this come from? I'm not 100% sure, but you can use anything. There's lots of pages from this Beyond the Shore you could use. I believe that's where I got, no, I might have just had this left over, but I got seahorses here and compasses, I mean not compasses, steering wheels for ships. I forgot what you call that. And the inside, this is, I believe, from this pack. But anything that goes. This one is the 49 and Market, and I was pulling out the greens. So you can either use green, blues, there's purples in here, and put some pages on the side that match. That's it. For the back cover, there's no flaps or anything. I just picked out this one from the 49 and Market and a mermaid scale. I just made one flap. Now, we can do the inside cover. That's what we'll be doing next. Hang on and I will get you the measurements. Okay, we need 10 by 3 1/4. I need another piece of paper. This is the front inside flap. Is a 10. By 3 1/4, because it's similar to page 8. It's a skinny flap. so it kind of looks like a sideways envelope. And the other one is 10 by 8 3/4. So that's our 10. Let's see, 8 3/4. Yep, it's just the other side. So here we go. You would have scored this 10 by 8 3/4 with the 8 3/4 side facing up, and score here. And I put that down. I use this page from the 49 and Market. Which one? It's the Shipwreck. And then I open up, and I've got paper from my Serene Oasis. If you can't find that exact pad, you can use anything. These are just these big pads you get like at Michael's. The other side is the other side of this paper, and these are just some of the this one is a cutout from the cutout paper on the 49 and Market pack. So there's that. The outside cover is from the Shipwreck. So it's looking like you'll need 2 of these Shipwreck packs. I used this before. So I used that. I just put the mermaid here. You don't have to, but I had to use her for something. This is my mermaid book. This is just a little piece from that same paper, this same one. And the back I didn't do yet. I am gonna take one of these papers that's left over. I was waiting to see what's left over, and I'll put something on the back. The measurement, it's 8 1/4 by 10 1/4 for that. And that's the book. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek on what I'm working on next. It's the same size book, just not as thick of a spine, or might be. I have to measure. Let me see. I will show you. Are you ready? This is one of my favorites. I'll give you a sneak peek, but if you subscribe to my channel, I will be posting videos on how to make this one next. And here it is. This is Tango by Ciao Bella, and it's lovely paper, really a lot of fun. And I didn't use that much paper. It's not as complicated, not as many flips and flaps, but fun to do. It's a little easier, and it's beautiful. So if you subscribe, just watch out for that. This will be next. And thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun making this album. And this Seaside album that we just did, you can make the same flaps, do it again, use different paper, anything. You could use it for travel, any kind of, it doesn't have to be ocean themed. You can use any paper on that. And now you have how to do it. So hope you enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Thank you.